So hi everyone, thank you for being here tonight. My name is MIKHAILA STETTLER, and I am with the Proof of Good DAO. And what we're doing, our protocol is set up to incentivize and reward and recognize acts of good, of social impact in the world. So we connect social impact organizations with individuals so that they can do the acts that are tied to the UN Sustainable Development Goals that these organizations are involved with. And then you earn good points for that. And then those goes toward earning NFT collectibles and tokens. And then the more that you earn these good points, your score goes higher and higher. This unlocks perks in our ecosystem, in our partners, and also makes you eligible for more good tokens when we launch our tokens. So it's a way for us to super scale and leverage social impact organizations to get them funds and resources and volunteers that they need. And it's a way to keep a sustainable, regenerative path to this so that at every point of the ecosystem, we're generating social and economic value. So in a nutshell, that's what we're up to at Proof of Good.
So what you're saying is people can get paid to be good people.
Yeah, do good, get paid.
So I come to you from paramedics in my room. I'm like voiceless, but it was really important for me to come here and talk to you guys today. So bear with me a little bit. My team is out there. They're super happy I have no voice, but I'm not. So my name is Jacqueline. I am president of ISA Corporation, and we launched in the spring. Everybody out here can help tell you about it because my voice is a little dead, but I still need it.
We appreciate it. You're killing it.
It's so important. So we're excited. We're our gamers and our developers and our artists for the first time ever are making a living doing the deal. We not only paid all of our artists in advance, this is not coming out of Mint, but they also have equity in our company so that they know that as we continue to grow as an organization, that we have all of these folks with us. And we were able to get amazing game designers and artists who have never been able to make a living at their career, despite 10 years at Wizards of Coast, wherever they come from. Any comic you've seen, you'll see the art, it's amazing, but we're really proud as a corporate organization to be able to support other projects coming to the blockchain that are in support of DE&I.
Amazing. Supporting local business. Let's fucking go. Women run. Let's get it. After you, Devin. Go ahead, man.
Thanks, Will. Hey, friends. I come from Harmony. We are a Layer 1 blockchain, fast, all the fun stuff. But what we're really about is providing the world with universal basic income. One way we do that that is near and dear to my heart, I am on the DAO operations team, and that is through empowering DAOs. So we hope to have 10,000 DAOs on the Harmony network by 2026, which we are very excited for, right? Because that is an organization where people are treated ethically, it is equitable. We are working towards something that we'd otherwise probably do for no money, and then we're also being paid for it to be able to sustain our lives. Really, really, really powerful. We're doing some things on-chain privacy, zero-knowledge proof stuff that's just going to better people's lives in the long run. But I'm here mainly to focus, I think, on DAOs.
Let's go. God damn, we need that. We're about to get into that, what that means, y'all. If you've never heard of a DAO before, don't worry, you're in the right place. Go ahead, man. Please. Thank you.
Hey, everybody. I'm Andrew. I'm here with Giant Protocol. You know, when we put Giant Protocol together to democratize access to internet and financial services by tokenizing bandwidth on the blockchain. I think in the spirit of community-owned networks, you know, we all collectively spend too much money. We spend something like $2 trillion a year on connectivity, but we have no choice. No one's happy with it. It's a fragmented experience. I pay for data when I am at home on my mobile phone. When I'm on the go, I pay for data at home. And then I go, you know, hiking in the mountains and I can't get service, and yet I can't connect to the local carrier. And so what we're doing is unlocking value, creating a more liquid market for bandwidth through really what's a community-owned sort of internet utility that rewards those who use it with a share of voice, the ability to have a say in the services that we all use every day. So really returning power to the people in the way we access one of the most important services and utilities in our lives, the internet.
Wow, amazing. Love that. Unbelievable. Well, first of all, can we get another round of applause just for everyone? Little intros. This is nerve-wracking enough, y'all. You know what I mean? But I really want to kind of get into this conversation around DAOs. So appreciate that. Let's fucking go. The energy is back in the room. So for DAO technologies, for those who don't know or never heard the term, it stands for Decentralized Autonomous Organizations. So one of the things that excites me the most about that is coming from a community organizing background. This is very deeply rooted in Black feminist theory of collective leadership, right? Right now we're living in a system that is predominantly hierarchy run, right? One person at the top predominantly, unfortunately, has been men who have been corrupt, and then trickle down wealth from there. And we see how this throughout our history as people has been problematic. DAO technology, or DAO ethos, is a horizontal leadership. So instead of having one person who leads, we have multiple people who lead and who follow. Proof of Good is a DAO that I personally am a part of. Harmony is bringing together a ton of DAOs, and this is a new way for us, so perfectly put, to empower people. So I would love to kind of lean into this DAO conversation and kind of about people's rights and empowerment. So for Proof of Good DAO, we can start there. What are some things that you're excited about personally that, you know, is kind of being innovated in that DAO in particular?
Well, as someone who has an allergy to hierarchy and arbitrary authority, I break out in hives and rebellion.
Real shit, though. Same here. Fuck hierarchies.
And think the rules don't apply to me. What my experience in our DAO has been incredible because we have the most amazing people because they're so attracted to our mission, right? So we have that in common. So you know that they're giving their time, their energy, their bandwidth, their skills from a really altruistic place. And to see the self-organizing of how it's working, like pods and cross-functional teams. And like when you're in all of like the meetings, because I'm kind of, I have my fingers in a lot of different pies. It's just like, wow, all the work that's getting done without that kind of like chain of command, but just like coming together in where you really see true human nature, which is collaborative, cooperative, co-creative. Like that is really our base like the how our nervous system and our brain, our neurology is wired, is for cooperation and co-creation. So for me, I love seeing that, and also it's like seeing how we're solving problems and how because there's a lot of things that we really have to answer and solve for in order to have the proof of good that's being written to the blockchain be true. Right? It's just like there are a lot of things that we're having to figure out, and I just to see how people come together to problem solve has been really amazing, and just being in that community, I've been loving it.
Love that.
Thanks so much for sharing that. You know, one of the things that's so exciting to me is that we now have the opportunity to enter spaces from bottom up instead of from top down. Right? And so we are literally in a revolution where we have an opportunity to fuck up how studios work, how music distribution works, how authentication of fashion, all of these things. We are now in the position to be in control, right? I work with lots of big brands and they have no idea what's going on and they're desperate. I will tell you that from the studio's perspective, they are nervous because they are used to having 100% control of their own IP they buy, right? And now they're in a situation where as creators, collectors, investors, we are all part of that same ecosystem, right? We are all creating value together, and guess what? We don't need their funding, right? We can do this on our own, and they don't know how to enter the space. So we have, I think, maybe about 12 months left, right, before they come in. And now is our opportunity to put forward all of the work that we've been doing. I will tell you that Web3 saved my fucking life during the middle of COVID. And you would think that I would not have that, this whole experience and meeting people and learning, evolving, being able to bring things to folks has been so incredibly rewarding. And now I think that we're at a point where you all have the opportunity to actually speak up and be the ones that are driving this change, because I'm telling you, there's people out there that just don't know how to do it.
Goddamn right. Fuck yeah. Love that. So true. Let's go.
Now, if I could echo something that was said earlier, it's, this is how we're built, like, as humans, is to operate in more communal environments. Like, 10,000 years ago, when there was no agriculture, we're hunter-gatherers, we're moving around, someone's acting despotic in a group, you just get up in the middle of the night and walk away, right? Like, it's that easy. You then have, and let's pick Egypt, because I think it's, there's pyramid, good symbolism for hierarchy. But also, that's an environment where it is, you can't get up in the middle of the night and leave because it's a desert, right? There's the advent of agriculture and privatized land are keeping people there, and if you don't stay there, you die. And you see that, I think, places in the Amazon where you still had that developed hierarchies much later because people still had the advantage to get up and go. And we've been in, I think, about this 10,000-year lull of hierarchy that's really, I won't say it's entirely bad because I think it's gotten us to this point, printing press, now people can, but people weren't quite ready. They weren't no one could read, right? But yes, it still helps. Internet, yes, it was great, and that's what Berners-Lee intended with the internet, is for it to be a fully decentralized blog that we could all voice our opinions, right? But then we terms and conditioned all our rights away to, the big boys, right? And now we have this continuous escalation of people realizing that this technology, using the technology that's being built by these companies to, again, now circumvent them. And that's where blockchain gets us, right? We're finally at a place that is, we can't give away, well, we can. We need to be very careful. It is harder for us to give away these rights, right? And now we can operate in these very lean, very communal organizations that are just inherently more evolved because, I think they're more natural, and they are, again, more lean. This is, I think, another extent of the conversation, but there's a great book. I think everyone should look it up and read it also, called Bullshit Jobs by David Rothgraber. Yep. About all the jobs out there that do not need to exist. There's a sewage treatment plant manager. He doesn't go to work for 6 months and nothing changes. Like, you have a lobbyist? Oh, we need lobbyists, right? There are all these jobs that we do not need. And the A in autonomous organization can cut out so many of those bullshit jobs and get us to a point where we are running leanly, we are running in a way that is organizationally sound and also really empowering for the people in it.
Yep, 100%. Go ahead, yeah. We can clap for that. We can clap for that.
Yeah, I think at Giant Protocol, we think about DAOs as a framework for the community to self-organize and have their voice heard in whatever world or platform it is. For us, that's about internet connectivity, right? And so, for example, and these communities can exist at the local level, they can exist at the global level. Right now, we're working with a community in Madagascar who wants access to the internet, and they don't know where to begin. But sort of the DAO structure we're putting together allows them to come together, to have their voice heard, to engage in a system like Giant Protocol where they can trust that their voice will be heard, that their motion will be considered, right? That their improvement proposal will be reviewed and weighed by the community, ultimately to get access to the internet, right? And so I think there's so much good intention out there, and yet it's really hard to find a way to kind of see that intention through to results. And I guess for us, a DAO is a framework for that. It's a system that you can believe in. It's a sequence of steps. It's a path to say, yeah, if you have an idea, here's where you go next, right? Share it with us. Put it on the ledger, right? Put it forth to community. We will hear it, we will see it, and we will collectively decide. And so I think it's about creating just a more transparent and open and trustworthy way for all of our latent wills and desire and our natural inclination to collaborate to actually sort of come through to a result, whatever that may be. And in the case of this community in Madagascar, hopefully it's access to the internet for the first time.
Amazing.
I'd love to build on that if there's an opportunity.
Please, I would
for
love that. Yeah, please.
So what I think what you were saying was like there's this opportunity. Sorry guys, with my voice, right? To involve folks. But as we talk about like studios and music and ownership rights, etc., think about DAOs replacing SAG. Right? So you're an actor, can you afford to pay those dues? Can you be part of what needs to happen? Now we can create our own money to get there. We don't have to be part of those memberships, right? And if we can convince these organizations as they're building the DAOs, allowing us to vote, participate, be part of what's going on, and then be part of that actual conversation is where I think we actually need to get. So when we look at working with whether it's corporate clients or bringing like things like TGRBG to the blockchain, right, it's super important that we think about how that impact is of people, not just support of financial support up front, but then how do folks get access to artists, developers, smart contract people, protocols, technology, money. There's so many things that go into building this. And that was one of the reasons why ISA really chose to work with Gripner, because they even went so far back as to say, think about gamers who spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and money and money and money and money to play. And now we want to pay you to participate, right, in our ecosystem. And it's an opportunity for like who's a gamer? Any gamers? Gamers? Artists. Do we have any artists? Artists? Okay, good. Developers? Developers? I want to hear female developers. Are there any? Please tell me there's one in here. I will help you if you don't have a way. There you go. Right? So now we have the opportunity to come together. If you don't know how to do it, find somebody that does and let us help you. It's like I really believe there's a 12 to 18 month window for creators, collectors, artists, gamers, all the fucking weirdos.
Let's fucking go.
Anything we want to do, we have the opportunity to be in charge. Don't be afraid. Be fucking bold. I was going to show you this amazing trailer today for Gripner, but we're having technical difficulties. So there's people in the crowd that can help you see it. But I hope that as you're out there and looking and involving, that you start to look at organizations who are taking care of their communities and looking out.
No question. And on that note, so one of the things that I would really love for us to talk about, we have people in the audience, some of which might be very well versed in what we're discussing, some of which this might be the first time they're hearing any of these, terms, right? So one of the, I think, most important points that was made tonight was access, right? How do we access these resources? How do we access this education? How do we access this world of abundance that we're talking about? So one of the ways that I love that Proof of Good would do it is that they were creating free models just by participation to get involved in the ecosystem, right? So for people who are listening right now, who are picking up what we're putting down, what are some access points that they can get involved on? What are ways that some, like the novices or like the beginners in this 12-month period can begin versing themselves in this ecosystem? And we can just keep going the same direction. And thank you all. This is fucking amazing, by the way. I'm loving this. Hell yeah, fuck yeah.
Well, those of you who were here before when Trish said she hates Discord, I've stopped complaining about the UI of Discord. I had to get over it. It's, yeah. Anyway, but that, like, our DAO halls are, actually, we're not even doing them on Discord anymore, are we? They're
on
so
YouTube.
big, they're on YouTube. But that's one of the ways. And then if you are a DAO member, right, you can earn POAPs, which will go toward NFT collectibles. So that's one of the ways. I think you do have to get into Discord, or in our case now we're having to stream it because Discord can't handle the numbers. And then you can find out. We have so much information there, and it's a way to invite you in, and also you can kind of dip your toe into working with the DAO. Like, you don't have to go whole hog like Will and I have done. Like, you can just see where there's like quests where you can see, oh, I want to participate in that. Or you could just see, like, once our platform is launched in a few more weeks, you can just go and see, oh, that's an area, that's a category of social impact I'm really into. Okay, what are the organizations there where I can do some actions, and then you can start to earn your points and your NFTs and then the tokens. So I would say, Will's also doing Twitter Spaces. We have that, but like the Discord is really quite active, and there's so much help there. Our community, they're amazing. They really are. Anything that we have free crypto education. We have a whole ongoing series where you can learn and you can go back and see all the videos from before. So we have tons of resources like that to help people get started on this journey.
Ready, watch this. I'm about to do bullet points. So those social media is a place for you to get in, right? YouTube, Twitter Spaces, Instagram.
Clubhouse rooms.
Clubhouse, Google.
Which is how I came in, right?
Literally,
Like,
just
yeah.
if you hear any terms that you like, NFTs, Google that. Just start like that. Those little steps into just throwing yourself in is a great access point. So as you guys go, I'll just like, boom, bang.
One more thing. I just want to say, about that taking your time. Be careful of FOMO. Because there are scams and fishy things, and once you kind of really learn how to keep your wallet secure, how to check out projects and make sure they're not just doing like a rug pull, or they're coming in with all this fanfare and then a few months later they're gone with all your crypto. So take your time and don't succumb to FOMO.
They call it do your own research in the space. Dior Chanel is the way that I like to say it.
Privacy and confidentiality, anonymity and immutability are
Can you say it one more
all
time?
of your.
Can you say it
no,
one more
I can't.
Talk dirty to me.
That was it. That was like the ethos of blockchain
Somebody
right
caught
there.
it on camera, right? There's not playback. Yeah. But two things, right? So so in my corporate life, I come from the consumer data space. So I'm here to tell you, we've been taking advantage of you for years, right? We pay you guys a little bit of money to answer our surveys, give consumers feedback. Give our brands feedback so they can make their products better, so you can pay for them, right? That's what we do. Now we're saying blockchain technology is enabling you to own your own data, to monetize your own data, to decide who gets to have access to your data and what they do with your data. And then when you look at the other side and you try to find projects that are enabling that, I'm going to ask you a question. Who likes legitimate free things? So now we talk about a project, right, who's here, where we want to support artists, we want to support creators, developers, etc. We have the access and the ability to onboard. We have an amazing artist team. And so all of our art is created by a gentleman by the name of Angry Blue, Justin Kramer. He is a famous artist. His work is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He has done the most amazing, insane posters, right? Typically, blockchain, TTRPG, what do they leave out? Minorities, women, etc. we have made a decision that we funded these artists, we paid. The first 500 people that join our list actually get a free NFT. So think about all, if you are not new to the space, and think about all the hoops that you have had to jump through to get onto a white list, right? Our list is a pre-allow VIP list, and by rolling to mint and engaging with the project, you now receive a free NFT by a famous artist, and then several of those are also then distributed out amongst the community, because our goal is to onboard people. We could go out and talk to all the whales. It's insane art. It's fucking incredible. If there wasn't a technology issue, I would show it to you. There's no way, you know what I mean? There's nothing that we need to do. But our goal here today, and people can raise your hand, we've got free shirts, we've got free NFTs, we've got free education, right? And we're here so that if anybody here wants to get involved in the space and own an NFT and does not own one now, come talk to some of the people raising their hands.
Amazing. Hey, this is a great point of reference. I'm going to say this to anyone who is in the space and who is building. Build diverse, inclusive spaces. The bar is set at representation. That shit matters in Web3. This isn't a bigoted space. We're not playing that shit anymore. This isn't the future. This is the now. That's why they call it the DAO. You like that? A little pun.
Yeah, it's
for
pretty
those who
good.
know about a different type of DAO. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead, man. Sorry.
Most of you are all here. That's correct. I believe that's a statement. Exactly. We are here. IRL. Here.
Where?
Turn to the person to your right, person to your left, get their phone number, telegram, whatever, and reach out to them. Talk to them, right? That is one very important way. Come to these conferences and meet people, because the people in this space love to talk about this space, and they love to educate, and I love that that is a core ethos of people who truly care about this space. My advice after that of how to really safely enter this space and learn more, it is still surrounding yourself with people, but do it in the context of a DAO, right? And yes, be careful, right? Not all DAOs are equal. But try out a few. Find one you like, dedicate some time to it. Just sitting in those meetings, you will learn so much about the culture of the blockchain it's on, the DAO itself, the entire space. You will learn how to use a multi-signature wallet, which is something a lot of my friends who have been in the space for a long time still don't know how to do. That is something we should all know how to do, and it's something you will learn how to do, right? Working in a DAO. You will learn so much by surrounding yourself with people who are in this space and who are dedicated enough and passionate enough to join DAOs. And they will lead to a lot more than just that DAO's
Can I
mission.
ask you a question? So you said to be careful when you're looking out for DAOs and projects. Are there some things that you can share with the audience around what they should look into when they're looking to be part of a project or a DAO?
No, I appreciate the question.
If you are on, if you're in a DAO and the main mission of that DAO is to, for the rest of the people in the DAO, maybe not you, if the mission of those people is to get paid from the DAO's treasury each week and work, 10-hour, $100 per hour work week, like that is not what a DAO is for, right? That treasury is for the DAO to operate. That is your savings, right, for the company. We should not be enriching ourselves with that money. You should be paying yourselves fairly, absolutely, based on skill level and reputation, and that's a whole nother rabbit hole. But if people are enriching themselves with that money for attending a meeting and paying themselves $100 an hour, do not be suspicious, right? Right? Because that's not the ethos, right? We are not here to do that. We are here to use this awesome mechanism, and the people who are so passionately there for that mission, it's just, watch out for that. That is one thing that I would say.
I'm really grateful for that because, look, there's a lot of money in this space, y'all. There is a there is an opportunity and an abundance that can enrich us all and make us all financially free. This isn't financial advice, this is a fact. I've watched it happen for people countless times where they've, become enriched off of their name, off of their work, off of their worth, but they've gotten lost in the sauce. I know we all know friends that have come up and left us behind, or left someone behind, or like made themselves the center of the stage instead of the community. And we need to build community, because that's what a DAO is about. So I'm super grateful for that. Let's fucking go. Do that shit in an empowered way, y'all. Empower others, empower yourself. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think one of the great virtues of Web3 is accessibility. I think one of the kind of reasons Giant Protocol was founded was the belief in the opportunity that particularly decentralized finance gives to bring the unbanked or the underbanked into the modern world, right? Have simple deposit accounts or payment accounts. And, but still, sorry, you're stepping on me. Still, if you've had to go through, as you heard about, setting up a multi-sig wallet or even just a simple MetaMask, it's still quite inaccessible and unintuitive. And I think what we're trying to do, one of the things we're trying to do, is take the money that you already spend today on data and tokenizing that. And by virtue of tokenizing that and turning it into a tradable asset on the blockchain, making financial services, decentralized financial services on the blockchain accessible to you. 6 billion people globally have phones, but much, much fewer have access to banks, right? The average person is more than 15 miles from the local bank. And so the idea now of being able to access deposit accounts, access interest-bearing accounts, invest in, equity-generating vehicles all through your mobile phone and the money you already spend on data, right, creates a much more accessible world as it relates to prosperity and financial services. So it's a big part of what we try to do, and I think a big part of the promise of the public blockchain in particular, and decentralized finance.
Wow, I love that. And for those who aren't familiar, please familiarize yourself with these terms. God damn, that was harder than So I'm gonna ask you all to take a moment, right? Close your eyes or don't if you want to, but I want you all to think about collectively or individually, what is it that you want to do with your life, right? Whoever you are in the audience hearing this right now or on stage, what do you want to do? What do you want to accomplish? What does legacy look like for you? What does a joyous, passion, and purpose-filled life look like for you? And then I want you to internalize the fact that it is possible and that it exists on the blockchain. Whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, you can tokenize it, you can make it an NFT, you can turn it into a DAO, you can realize your own creative genius and your own unique purpose in this world in Web3.